Hello, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. This is a very special edition of the Let's Talk About It video series called Meet the Council. My name is Emmanuel. I am with the Delaware Developmental Disabilities Council. Today, I've had the pleasure of having a conversation with our chair of our Policy and Law Committee, Mr. Derrick George. Derrick, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Emmanuel. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me today.
So I am super excited about having a conversation with you about your advocacy journey and why you joined the council and just getting to know as much as possible about you. Um, but before we get into our conversation, can you give our audience a little bit of your background, as a person and how you got to where you are today?
Well, yeah, I guess a little background about myself as a person. Honestly, to put me in the most succinct, direct terms, I'm a very straightforward shooter. I'm a very honest person. I'm not about making friends. I'm not about, but I'm all about loving and taking care of everybody and being honest. And I believe that those are some of my core values as a person: honesty, just accountability, and just being true to oneself. Really, um, as as I've navigated through life, um, I've always been kind of left to my own devices. So that has built me up as a person to kind of learn from my mistakes. A lot of the time, more mistakes than well, a lot more mistakes than success, I would say. And that has allowed me to learn how to not only navigate life, daily life on my own and advocate for myself without even knowing it, but really just building that person I am, that I've become as a young man. Some of my first loves at a very young age as a person with a disability were video games and computers and technology as a whole. I always make the story, the joke. I say, when everybody else was outside playing playing on their bikes and playing in their street lights and messing around, I was inside breaking things and learning how to put them back together. So I always had an observant kind of approach to things. I was always kind of process oriented, and just kind of took. That's how I learned things. So really, I'm a lover of technology. I'm a lover of photography. I love movies. I love music. Everything from jazz, everything except like new age country, because it's pop music. I even like old school, you know, Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash and just old school stuff. Hank Williams. I mean, I like everything down to Biggie and Tupac and jazz, Grover Washington, Jimi Hendrix, and Fleetwood Mac. I mean, I'm all over the place. The Stones. So I've been, you know, uh, I love everything. I try to keep an open mind with life as well as when I'm meeting people. I try to be as open and as honest as possible.
Wow, you mentioned a lot of different things there that make you who you are. Um, can you give me a little bit about your college background and things that you may have majored in or things that you fell in love with? Can you just share briefly a little bit about that?
Yeah. So really, when I was in high school, we had career pathways in my high school, and as I've said to you, I took a liking to tele telecommunication, technology. So I I was sound mixer and cameraman on our daily show at Newark High here, and I kind of did everything. I did the switching boards and all and every. I was jack of all trades, everything except in front of the camera, because I don't like talking. I'm a quiet guy. I'm an introvert. but I love that technology. So I took that after a 4-year career pathway and went to Full Sail in Winter Park, Florida, where I majored in film and TV production. Well, while I was down there, I realized, and I was honest with myself, I realized that, there was limitations put on me by my disability, just transportation wise, there's barriers, that kind of came across where I kind of realized, the best way that I could serve in that film and TV production realm was to be an editor. So to that when I realized that, and while I was living in Florida, I took up some networking and programming certifications. I taught myself C++, taught myself JavaScript and CSS and some web design languages to, further my wealth of knowledge. I believe in lifelong learning. You're learning every day. If you're not learning every day, you're dying. Whether it's a bad experience, good experience, there's something to take from everything. And so I kind of realized, hey, I got to expand my skill set here. So I started out, graduated with that degree in film and TV production, and also became a Cisco certified network associate and network professional by the end of my college career. Lived in Florida for 2 years. 4 years, I'm sorry, and moved back here to Newark, to Delaware, where I'm from. Born and raised here, Wilmington. Live in Newark, and I started my own business and did some weddings for a couple of years. Edited, got into all of that. Had all that camera equipment, and realized I got tired of them bridezillas, and some of the things that just come along. It was a lot of stress, and I realized I still loved it, and I still love it to this day. I still take pictures. I still love just being out in nature and just taking it all in. But I've kind of shifted towards things that pay the bills more so than what I love. I kind of try to have a balance. It's all about maintaining that balance. But I came a long way from a film and TV production guy to now a network and computer guy who builds websites and does a bunch of stuff. So it's
So you got a lot going on. You
yeah,
got a lot going on.
Got a big brain like yourself. Got a big head. There's a lot of stuff in here, and sometimes it's sometimes you gotta slow down and figure out how you gotta put it all back together. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's very important to me to keep learning. You can always learn, even when you're like, I love being critiqued. I love being told when I'm messing up, when I'm screwing up, because it's a learning experience. It's something I don't know. I learn from my peers.
So
And
I'm not gonna highlight the fact that you just called me a big head on camera, but we gonna let that go.
hey, it's a compliment. Big head. There's a lot of knowledge in there. There's a lot of knowledge.
So as we mentioned, you are the chair of our policy and law committee, and you are a member of the DD Council. Can you tell us a little bit about your advocacy journey?
Well, as an advocate, like I said earlier, it begins and starts with us as individuals with disabilities to be advocates, to be self-advocates. A lot of people that I've come across in my life, they just give up. They just give up too easily, or they don't feel like their opinions are validated. And you don't know how many times, and I'm sure you probably feel that way sometimes too. And I've felt that way where you feel like you're not being heard, you're not being understood. The overall purpose, the overall message is getting lost. So as an advocate, as a member of the council, and as the chair of policy and law, change on any level starts with policy change, starts with systems change and systems advocacy. So it's all about, the more people you got behind you, the more voices you got behind you, and sometimes I hate to say that, the more money sometimes you get behind you, the more influence you have. But at the end of the day, it all starts with our voice, and we got to have a voice, and we gotta know what we want, even if we don't know how we got to get there. It's the point is of the council is to work together, and that's what I've noticed with the council. We all kind of collaborate. We all share our ideas. We all can take a little bit from each of ourselves and build something that's great. So as an advocate, not only as a self-advocate, navigating, like I said, through high school and transition services with DVR, and getting all that and just navigating life, and I didn't even know I was eligible for SSI until I was 18 years old, and so that just comes with asking questions and finding your voice and not giving up. I always live by that adage: it takes 99 no's to get that one yes. So keep getting those no's. If you're not getting those no's, you're not getting anywhere. You're not learning anything. So as an advocate, you just really gotta be consistent. You gotta be consistent and persistent. You gotta just don't be afraid to keep after it. And if it's something you believe in, and it's something that's going to make your life better, or make individuals that we serve as a council make their lives better as a whole, as a population, you got to think about everybody. um, then that's what we should strive for. Whether it's the ADA, provisions, whether it's sub minimum wage, that's something that us on the Policy and Law Committee we're real strong believers in, because we believe in equal pay for everybody. Everybody wants a job. Everybody wants to get off a system, that SSI system, they don't want to be dependent on the system. But some of them, they've been bred to only believe that that's all that they have available to them. So it's about, being an advocate is about self-empowerment. It's about finding your voice, and it's about, striving for something above the norm, not ever settling for that norm.
So it sounds like you have experience on and advocating for those systems change, policy change. You mentioned DVR, Division of Rehabilitation, and how had to advocate there to ensure that you got what you needed.
Yeah.
And just shifting a little bit, how long have you been a council member?
I think it's been since April of 2016, I believe. Yeah. It's,
Wow,
it's been about
2016.
it's been about 4 years. This past year with COVID and all, it feels like it's only been 2 months. So sometimes I got to sit back and just kind of like look at everything and say, man, it's really been that long. Man, I can't believe it. But yeah, it's been
Wow.
been four
Well,
years in
yeah.
April.
Well, you know what they say. Time flies by when you're having fun. So,
Yeah, yeah,
advocacy can also be fun. I
yeah,
think when people hear advocacy, they're like, "Oh my gosh!" There goes some other people fixing other problems.
yeah.
But I
And
think there comes a passion to be able to do that, which makes it fun. Go ahead.
yeah, and as an advocate, like I said to you earlier, um, a lot. One of the things I live by is I'm not going to please everybody. You're not going to make friends. You're probably going to make more enemies than friends most of the time in this type of realm. But these people don't matter. I hate to say it. I mean, their opinions of you don't matter. As long as you know yourself, as long as you're confident in yourself and what you believe in, none of that other stuff matters. If you can develop a defined approach, and you believe in what you're saying, and you can be accountable, even when you're messing up, even on your bad days, be accountable. You know, just don't, and like you said, advocacy can be fun. It just be relaxed about it. Don't overanalyze. if you're not getting what you want, just take a breather. Just take a breather and reset and try somebody else. You know, if one person or one organization or one realm that was supposed to help you isn't helping you, you know, keep asking, keep taking those 99 no's, like I like to say. You'll find that one yes. You'll find that one yes eventually.
Exactly.
You have to be persistent.
Right,
Then
right.
at the end of the day, people they might not like you, but they'll respect you, and that means something.
Exactly, exactly. So what made you decide to apply to be a council member? Because you know all the members on the council got to apply and be approved by the governor and things like that.
Well,
So what made you say, "Hey, I'm Derrick George, and I'm, you know, and I'm gonna apply for this council"?
yeah, I really I had a very close friend of mine from UCP of Delaware that I met. Um, one of my only really close just friends that had spina bifida over the years, and I've had a lot. I keep a real tight knit group of friends, but this one friend I've known for 25 years. I mean, and we started out, we hated each other. And it came like when we were 4 or 5 years old, I mean, we hated each other. And after a couple summers at Benito and hanging out, we realized, yeah, we aren't half bad. We get along. We're still friends to this day. And I saw him, he struggles with a lot of things that I don't have. He has a shunt. He has the spina bifida, so he's more susceptible to seizures and things like that. And seeing him be an advocate for himself and other individuals like ourselves inspired me because we're very close. We're brothers. I mean, to this day, we lived in Florida together. He's from Wilmington. He was living in Florida. He moved down to Florida when he was in his early 20s. And I followed him down there. We lived together for a couple of years and living with the man every day like I did. I took some of his traits, and I think that came home with me because before I left for Florida, I was an introvert. Like if you and I met, we'd be friends, but I'd kind of keep my talk between you and I. You know what I mean? I would believe in the same things. I've always been a believer in advocating for oneself. It's been embedded in me because growing up, two single parents, father who was in the service, Vietnam, my mother, and she always worked on her own. They were never home. So if I needed something, I needed to get that myself. I had to figure out my way because they were too busy. They loved me. They were there for me. They supported me, in more ways than you know. But in terms of finding a voice, they had their own things going on. So if I needed something, I had to do it on my own. And one day, I was talking to an old neighbor of mine, Terry and Jarek, who I used to play with her daughter Bridget in Challenger Little League, and she said, "Derek, hon, what you been up to?" And we were talking, and she says, "Hey, um, I think you'd be good for this council." And of course, with anything new, I had my reservations at
Right.
first because I didn't know these people. The only person I knew was Terry. Um, and again, it's like you kind of have this, you kind of start having like little quandaries, and you start overthinking things. I have a tendency to overanalyze and go on tangents. So I'm like, what are these people about? Or are we going in? What type of atmosphere are we going into? But as I came to meetings and I realized and I met some people that I hadn't seen in years, just friends from UCP of Delaware and things like that. I realized we're all still kind of a tight knit community, and I got to meet new people like yourself and others. So it was really, finding those like minded individuals. Because, like I said, I was an introvert before this. I kind of isolated myself and did my own thing because, I have problems with trust. Stop yawning. You better cut that out.
Well,
It's
on my
late.
side of the world, it's kind of late.
Yeah.
Um, but you mentioned being a close knit community. I remember when you first came to your first meeting. You was almost like a turtle in your shell.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
but you could tell that you wanted to be there, but you were kind of looking around like, I
Who are
don't
these
know.
people?
Yeah, who are these people?
Who?
What do they want?
What are they? What are they about? What are they? Yeah. People are always sizing you up. Whether you're disabled or not, whatever you are, people get sized up all the time. And I
So,
admit, to you, there's some limitations. Like you got a wife and you got kids, and I commend you for that, brother, because that's something to this day I still have trouble with. Like women, just in general. That's one of my that's one of my boundaries. But that's my turtle. That's me being the turtle, like you say. Um, just it takes me a while. I got to tread water for a bit and find my way, and I believe I'm still finding my way.
and I think and I don't want to speak for you, but I think the process of advocacy and being at the table and speaking up for other people and yourself, it's always a revolving door. So
Mm-hmm.
you're always going to be finding your way, because the way that we did it 10 years ago is not the same way we do it now. So
Mm-hmm.
it's always that new way of thinking, even for the council. Even though the council has a mission and they believe, everybody may not process that mission or the belief the same way, but it can result in the same outcomes. Can we
Yeah.
reach a mutual agreement?
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
it. Yeah, it's it's like anything. It's like just coming to a compromise. And I see that there's a willingness. If there's a willingness to compromise or a willingness to learn on both sides, then we'll make progress. There you got to sacrifice things. There's a give and a get. But just like you said, stick to the mission of the council. Stick to our morals, and that's what drew me to the council. Is as a person with a disability, and as they like to use these terms, high functioning, low functioning. I hate all these terms. I hate. I hate. I'm just. I'm just Derrick. You're just Emmanuel. We all process things
right.
differently. Like you may be able to do something. You may able to. You may be good at calculus, and we never know it because you're stuck behind a desk all day. Whatever it is, and I may be good soldering, working on electronics because I got steady hands and I'm very process oriented.
Right.
I'm a linear thinker. So again, what kind of drew me to the council was that individualism, but knowing that us as a community, us as disabled individuals and advocates, whether it's a family advocate, systems advocate, whatever, a DVR counselor, we all want the same thing, and we want success, and we want inclusion for everyone. We want everybody to be working normal jobs like us
Right.
and stop mooching off the system. And we want people living independently in the community. We want people living full, fulfilling lives, and that's what I'm about because I want the same thing that we
And
all
then
want.
and then full fulfilling lives can be whatever a person may choose.
Yeah, it's
But
all
given
relative.
but giving them the option to make that choice. And I think that's why it's important to have people such as yourself who is on the council who can say, this may not be my choice, but we must give people that option to make an informed decision.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
you got to be open. You got to be open to the change. You got to be open to hearing other opinions because, like you said, it's a case by case basis. I'm a believer in that self directed approach, because how you and I may deal with things, how you may deal, how you may deal with things on a day-to-day basis or even an hour-to-hour basis is different.
Right.
So I always say, you know, like what's one of the greatest superpowers I wish I had, or I wish others had, everyone had, is empathy. You must, you just gotta try to put yourself in that other person's shoes. Like
Right.
I try to put myself in Bridget's shoes. You know, as an individual with a disability, she has cerebral palsy. You know how many times she's a sweet girl. You know how many times some guys get around and her face lights up. I say, honey, I don't know where your head's at. You know, and I laugh because in those moments you really realize, hey, she wants the same things we want, man. And that's what it's
Exactly.
all about. That's what it's
So,
all about.
you know, you mentioned, you know, what, you know, people want and making the choice. If you had about 1 to 2 minutes or even 30 seconds to talk to someone who wanted to become an advocate or apply for the council, and they're on the fence or they're in the turtle shell, kind of like you were, what would you say to them to get them to understand that they can do it?
I would say, listen, I would say just like you said, I would try to share my story with them and tell them, hey, I was an introvert just like you. And I didn't really trust people either. Whatever, you know, I'm not going to put words in these people's mouths, but whether it's a trust issue, whatever it is, again, we're a community. Again, we are like-minded individuals. We're all disabled here. These we as we as a council have have the ability to get,
You froze on me.
you know, get that in there. Um, uh, Make that
Derek,
connection.
can
I
you repeat the last thing you said? Because you
I
froze on me.
I froze. Um, I'll just circle around and we'll start the question over again. That's probably easiest. Um, as a person, you know, that was getting ready to join the council or was thinking about joining the council, should I say? I would really say, you know, and might be on the fence. I'd say, you know, just come and see what you think. Um, like you said, um, I was a turtle in my show. Um, and I believe as a whole, and I'm not speaking for individuals with disabilities, I don't want to speak for those, but I believe as a whole, as a population, I feel like trust is a big thing for us, and establishing that
Mm-hmm.
trust is a big thing for us. So, so being, so you know, being there, you know, there's going to be some bumpy rides. There's going to be some times where you probably, you know, kind of sit down and don't know where you're going, but just sit and take it in and really introduce yourself and see what you like. Because if you were to tell me a year ago that I was going to be the chair of the policy and law committee, I'd say, I'm good. Somebody else will do that. Because I knew, because I mean, to this day, even now, I really don't, you know, I don't even know all the laws. You know, I don't even know all the protections. I'm still learning every day. I'm learning a little bit every day. But again, as long as I stick to what I believe in, and for those individuals that want to join the council or may be thinking about joining the council, stick to what you believe in, and you can really bring your unique approach, your unique spin on things to the council. Because,
Right.
like for me, I got a big mouth, so where somebody else might be a little bit more, a little bit quieter, a little more tactile in their approach. Well, you have a place here as well. You know, we can work together. So again, it's the council is a good place to find your voice, whatever that voice may be, and give us a
Wow.
chance. Give us a chance, because without you, without individuals with a disability, whatever it is, whether it's a physical disability, whether it's something you can't see. I have friends with cystic fibrosis, and and other things, spina bifida. They can walk and talk and drive, and they don't use any assistive technology, any wheelchairs or anything. And people don't even know what they're going through. Well,
Wow.
the council is a place, a community where you can share that story, or not share it, whatever you feel comfortable with. Just take your time, and it's again, it all starts with systems change, policy change. We don't start with policy, and we don't change the policy. We don't change the thinking. Then we're not going to make any progress, and you can have a voice here. And that's why individuals like Denise, she's a great voice for our community, because that's what she's all about. She's about that policy change, that advocacy change.
As you were talking, the council reminds me of a well orchestrated band. You got the drummer, you got the tuba, you got the trumpet, you got all those different instruments.
Yeah, and
But
then
when
we and
that
then we and then
but
we
when
can
it
come in. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just. I'm sorry. I wanted to get this out, and I apologize. It's one of these things I think about, but it's like, we can find our place. We can be that tambourine. We can be that. We can be that little shaker, the congas. We can get the congas. We can fit in. My point is, by saying that is, we're an orchestra. Well, whatever we call for, whatever that song calls for, whatever that composition calls for at the time, that's where we can come in and
Exactly.
really give that individualized feel. It kind of stuck with me, and I had to get it out. I apologize, but
No,
that
no.
was
I think that's perfect, and that's what it reminds me of, because we all come to the table with different skill sets and different abilities and different understanding. But when it's time to perform, meaning when it's time to advocate or speak up, we all start playing that well orchestrated song.
Mhm.
Derrick, I want to thank you so much for your time, sharing your story with us, and really opening up to let people in and share your experience with the people on YouTube, but also our world and our fellow Delawareans, and I can imagine, someone being on the fence and maybe hearing your story about your turtle shell, and because even after you started coming, and I don't want to speak for you, but I think in the beginning you was like, okay, I really don't know what my role is. I don't know what they want from me. I
Yeah, you're
remember,
right.
I remember sitting in the hallway and having a conversation with you, and I'm like, Derrick, we need you. Like
Yeah,
we need you to show up. And to me, it was at that moment where he was like, okay, I got
all
it.
right. We'll figure it out. I got to show up. We'll
Yeah,
start
yeah,
there. We'll start there with the showing up, and then we'll see. And you're right, because there was so much. There was so much change. There's been so much change in the past 4 years. Just
yeah,
overall, just in general, I'm saying that
yeah,
really at that time when I came into the council, um, there was a lot of issues I didn't know. Like, I'm not a policy guy, so how could I best, you know, how could I be the most efficient and and help us out as a whole? Yeah, I really didn't know, and it's really hard, because if we're sitting there and we're not being productive and we're getting shut down from every corner, then yeah, it took me some time to sit back and say, hey, all right, I let me show up and let me just give this a chance. And really, I was patient. I was really patient. Like I said to you, if you were to tell me a year ago that policy and
yeah.
policy change and all that would have been something that I would have loved to be a part of, I would have said no. But at the end of the day, without even realizing it, being an advocate It's all about systems change. It's all about policy change. It's all about advocating for, evolving as a community. And we only evolve through that systems change and advocating for oneself. So, and it all starts with policy at the state level. We
Right.
need. I didn't even know we had long-term support services till 4 years ago, probably right before I joined the council. Because I've always been a person that doesn't like taking. I don't like taking freebies. There's always something attached to it. And, I don't, again, it's a trust thing. I think we'll go back to that trust. But again, it's like there's so many services out there available, and there's so many ways that individuals can get on this council and advocate for their needs. And they
Yeah.
can also learn about all the resources that are available to us as a community. And just through learning and observing, like I did while I was sitting in my turtle shell, I learned a lot. Like I said, I'm still learning to this day. There's still days where I just get burned out, but I stick with you because I believe as a whole, we're stronger as a group than we are as individuals.
Well said. What a great way to end the show. I want to thank you again for your time. If you have not already, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you never miss an episode of the Let's Talk About It video series. Make sure you leave us a comment and let us know what you think about this video. Until next time, see you all and thank you again. Have a great day.
You better cut that out at the end.